Phenomenalism explained by a man and a trip. There once was a rat. This rat was a good rat, really. He scoured under the wooden floorboards for bits of cheese, for shreds of radish, and for, on occasion, a little crumb of cake. He loved eating the little crumbs of cake that would, during the Christmas holidays, filter through the creaky wooden floorboards onto the floors of his hallways, the crevices beneath the floorboards. The rat's name was Matthew. He lived in the basement of the house, in a particularly warm crevice. He was a happy, fulfilled little rat. But enough about Matthew. I've already said a few too many words, considering he's a rat. The house that Matthew lives in is a big house. A very big house indeed. It is filled with servants. A butler, a housekeeper, maids, men in waiting, ladies in waiting. There's even a chauffeur. There is a man who lives in this house, who calls this house his home. The man who owns this house, and the man whose needs the servants serve. His name is Raymond. Raymond is... It's hard to quantify Raymond. Hard to put him on paper as just one thing. Hard to nail him down, I guess you could say. You see, Raymond fills a lot of different roles in a lot of different places. At home, at his large home, the home of Matthew the Rat and the many servants, he is a painter sometimes. He paints prolifically, though if you asked him at work what he did at home, he couldn't tell you. Which brings us to an interesting topic. Yes, what Raymond does for work. Raymond really does a lot of different things. He's a pretty busy guy, really. Sometimes, on late winter evenings, as the December snow piles on the roof of the large house that Raymond owns, Raymond wanders into a room of his house that anyone else might call his office. Raymond doesn't know it as such, and though he entered by chance, he knows exactly what to do when he gets into the room. As soon as his eyes see the large wooden desk, and his nose smells the smell of paper and ink, Raymond trots quite quickly across the room. Raymond sits quite elegantly at the desk and immediately gets to work. In this room, you see, Raymond is a writer. Raymond writes quite well because his whole attention is on the page as soon as he begins. Like when he paints, Raymond becomes completely absorbed by the story he's telling. Completely in the present moment, Raymond becomes the story he's telling. He is the words coming through him from his mind to the page. Now, I know what you're thinking. This Raymond guy seems like a strange character. A boring character, even though he's got a few interests. He seems like a chameleon, becoming whatever he is around. And that's no fun if you want a bit more. A lot of people have thought that about Raymond over the years. Raymond turns 40 tomorrow. He doesn't really notice birthdays, though when the housekeeper smiles warmly on September 30th and brings out a lighted cake, he appreciates it fairly and enjoys the cake while he's eating it. There's something wrong. Something amiss. The truth is, I've been trying to cover it up. Trying to paint Raymond as this eccentric type, this benevolent aristocrat, when really he's quite something else entirely. You see, there's a secret. Really, something's quite wrong in the Raymond Blank household. Something's really quite wrong with When Raymond was 18, he was quite different from how he is now. He was vivacious in a different way, adventurous, full of plans about the future, full of ideas about the things he was going to do in places different from where he was then. This young, adventurous Raymond took a trip around the globe. This young Raymond hoped it would change him for the rest of his life. Raymond set sail from his local New England port. He headed south, on the Atlantic. He arrived in Puerto Rico weeks later, older, with clothes torn from the strong winds and skin tan from the bright sun. Raymond, the younger one, with untorn clothes and paler skin, had a plan for Puerto Rico, a plan for where he would go. Slightly older Raymond followed this plan. Into the rainforest went Raymond, in search of change, perspective, worldliness. He would leave with a changed perspective, all right. He would leave quite different from how he had ever been before. The thing that happened was Raymond happened upon a healer of sorts. A healer in the rainforest. A healer in the Puerto Rican rainforest. Raymond and the healer got to chatting. The healer, being wise to the ways of this world, recognized in Raymond what you can see in many, but what is, in the end, a broken way. Raymond, through the healer's eyes, was a flawed man, a flawed young man. The healer, being a mischievous and ill-intentioned healer, saw an opportunity. Because the healer, being a receptive healer, noticed something else, something quite important to the interaction. The healer noticed Raymond's bulging pockets bulging so that the crisp, clean gold coins were nearly falling out of them. The healer was smart and clever, and he was mischievous and ill-intentioned. He smiled. "Raymond," he said, calmly, cleverly, smartly, "would you like to buy a potion that will keep you focused only on what is in front of you?" Raymond, young Raymond fresh off the weeks-long journey, realized that the wise healer could help him. He felt seen. Yes, he wanted a potion to make him stay in the moment. That's exactly what he needs before he goes off on this journey. Now he won't have to worry about trying to learn to meditate. This is perfect. Yes, thank you, said Raymond to the wise and mischievous healer. The healer unwrapped a bottle from his sack. Phenomenalism, it said in careful, handwritten letters. Purple liquid glowed inside.